What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday! Happy Friday. You know what I'm gonna do? Normally, I do my little introduction video. I worked hard on it too. I worked real hard. So, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play it. Okay, then. Y'all, listen. Y'all indulge me for a minute. For a minute. Y'all indulge me because I'm gonna play my intro. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And yes, I'm gonna listen. I worked hard on on that intro, so you know what we fit to do. Play it every time. Every time. I am so excited to be with y'all today. Let me turn my phone down. Happy Friday, Noreen. Noreen is the show up queen, honey. Noreen is going to show up in the spot. Yes, happy Friday, Noreen. Y'all start tagging your people, letting them know that we are live both in the Facebook group as well as the BPC YouTube page. Um, I'm trying to figure out how to say this because I can resonate with Coach Taria. People tell me I come that my words are a little strong sometimes. So I'm trying to y'all seen that reel where the judge is asking her to be nice, to say it nice, and she's like, I'm finding it. I'm trying to find it. Listen, let your people know that we are live on the Profitable and Productive Fridays. And this is important because every BPC meeting, I hear people talking about members, family members talking about they're overwhelmed. And we call BPC is family. That's why I say family members. My family blow me up on the regular. Yeah. But I see and I hear I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. This is just all too much. And I'll put in the chat, I can help you. Here's my information, and I'll put my email address in. And I think I'm pausing because I want that to marinate in your shanana. 3 people have reached out, and yet there are so many every week that are overwhelmed. They are trying to figure out what to do, and I'm telling you, I can help you. Okay. um let's get her done. Let's get her done together. Let's get her done together. And why is that? Because let me tell you what all I do before I go into my formal intro. Let me tell you, and this is the reason why Coach Taria asked me to do this. I am a wife, not only a wife, but I'm the wife of a senior pastor. So we have ministry obligations out the wazoo. I'm a mother. I have 3 biological children and 3 bonus babies. So a total of 6 children. My husband doesn't like to call them children because the youngest one is 24. They're all adults. But as a mother, they're always your baby. So whatever. I have a real estate business In that real estate business, I work with buyers, sellers. Just had a closing last week. Buyers, sellers, investors. I flip houses. I have a Verbo property, which right before the call, someone just booked. Hallelujah. We give God glory for that. Author, six-time published author, international speaker, and simplified productivity coach. I'm giving y'all what I know. I'm giving y'all experience. I'm not giving y'all guess games. Okay? I'm giving y'all how my brain works, how I get through my day successfully with balance. Okay? Because what I have noticed is, and I'm going to put this up, what I have noticed is folks confuse productivity and busyness. It doesn't matter that you've got 20 things on your calendar if they're not feeding the success that you want to have. And when I did my webinar, what was it, 2 weeks ago, my webinar for the month of June, one thing that I pressed upon those who attended, we are pushed and pushed and pushed from preschool on up that we need to work hard. You just got to work hard. You just got to work hard. No, you need to work smart, because there are a lot of hardworking people that don't have two nickels to rub together. So I want you to work smart and be successful in the way that you define success. That's why I'm here on the second and fourth Friday. So what I want you to do, you have questions, put them in the chat. I've got my phone up so I can see the chat from the Facebook group as well as the chat from YouTube. If you hear a little slight echo, that's me making sure I can hear myself on my phone. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it done together. I don't want you to be burnt out. I know what it's like to be stressed and overwhelmed and literally want to sit in a corner somewhere and just, you know what I'm saying? I've been there, done that, designed the t-shirt and burnt it. Hello. Designed the t-shirt and burnt it. Yes. Because that's not the life that you have to live. As a simplified productivity coach, I work with high achieving professionals. So that's those in that 9 to 5 grind, okay? As well as entrepreneurs. So that covers everybody. And what I do is I help you transform chaos into clarity, unlocking more productivity, more peace, more profits, reclaiming your balance, and killing overwhelm. That's what I do. Okay? So put your questions in, even if it's not related to the topic that I'm talking about today. I will answer your productivity questions because you're about to start another week, and I don't want you to start the week feeling the same way you're feeling now if you're frustrated and like, Lord have mercy. And this doesn't mean that you're not killing and crushing the goals. You might be doing that, but are you working hard or are you working smart? Hard or smart? Hard or smart? And I want you working smart. So I'm going to do a quick review of the SMART goals. Your goals that you are setting need to be specific. No generalization. They need to be measurable, have a beginning and an end, as well as checkpoints in between. They need to be achievable. They need to be relevant. Does it make sense? Can you achieve this, what you're wanting to do, with what you have going on now? And time bound. Again, a beginning and an end. So, as I pull up this whiteboard, we're going to go through some scenarios. Make my screen a little bit bigger. All right. This is the weekly planner, which I was told by Coach Taria that the planners, the new profits planners are on order. So as soon as y'all get that email about ordering your items, your planners, plural, because remember the planners are 90 days. They are 90-day planners, and it makes sense to pay for shipping one time. Okay? So when you get that email from her, make it do what it do and come on in and order your planner. So if you remember from last time, what I suggest is that you have a planning day. For most people, that's on Sunday. So I'm going to type in planning. We're not going to focus on Sunday. I want to give y'all some real life scenarios, even deeper than what we've done thus far. Because again, it's about balance. It's you don't put everything on your calendar that's just about your job or about your business. That's why it becomes hard when that family stuff comes. And that's also why I strongly suggest that you have two calendars, one digital, one paper. I don't always have my paper calendar when I'm in the grocery store, but I always have my phone. So if I get a call or a text, I can check my calendar right then because they're in sync. And I can let someone know when I'm available for a Zoom or phone call or face-to-face meeting. And then I go and put that in my paper calendar, which is normally in my car. Okay? So I want to go with, because we're in July, and in January and roundabout end of June, July, folks start focusing on working out. They pick it up again. They think about it real hard December 31st. I'm hitting the gym, boom, 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 boom. They go about 2 or 3 weeks in January, start falling off. And then that reality of summertime. Oh, I want to be cute. I want to be cute for the summer, right? So then June, July, they start getting serious. So let's talk about breaking that down. And you say, well, why in the world would we need to break that down? Because if you tell yourself, I'm going to go work out, but it hasn't been a part of your normal routine. Normal routine doesn't have to mean every single day, but it does need to mean about 2 or 3 days out of every single week. If that's not what you're working with, then we need to take it back to the genesis of it all and look at your why. What I am constantly drilling into the people that I meet with, my clients, even folks that do the strategy sessions with me, you have to know why you're doing a thing. And that's what takes you through that SMART goal process. Are you trying to do it because somebody else said that this is what you need to be doing? You're trying to emulate somebody else's life or somebody else's end result, and you feel like this is the way that you need to do it. Why? Why are you wanting to go to the gym? If you don't know and you can't answer the why, then that goal is not really a goal, it's an idea. And it's an idea that will get tossed around, never make it on your calendar, or you'll skip over it, even though it is on your calendar, because you haven't figured out the why. And eventually it just disappears. Why is it important for you to go to the gym? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to lose inches? Are you trying to go down some sizes for clothing? Because those are three different things. Those are three different whys. Are you trying to get healthy because your doctor said if you don't lose certain amount of pounds, then you're going to have to go on more meds? Are you feeling it in your joints to where your bone, it feel like your bones are hurting? What is your why? That why is your motivation. That is your reminder. When nobody else is there talking to you, pushing you, that why is what's feeding you. And we all have those moments where it's just us, our thoughts, and the Lord. Okay? We all have those moments. What is your why? So let's go through a couple of scenarios. Let's say for this person, they are wanting to lose the weight because they notice that their clothes are fitting tighter. They don't want to go up any more sizes. They've already been down that road. And I know many of us can resonate with that. And the process that I'm getting ready to take you through for this whole gym thing, you can apply it for every single goal that you're wanting to accomplish. Every single one of them. So pay attention to the process. This person is saying, I don't want to buy bigger clothes. My clothes are getting tighter. I notice that I am tired. I'm sluggish. I'm not resting. It's hard for me to go to sleep. My body is just out of whack. I might be carrying a lot of stress in my body, because that is one of the factors that can cause you to gain weight. It's, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is not always because you're eating wrong. Many times, more often than we realize, it's because we're carrying stress in our bodies. Can I be just transparent for 1 minute? And y'all walk with me, because I'm gonna share with you how stress can shift a lot of things in your body and you not even realize it because you're robotic in your routine. So in my first marriage, which was a hellified marriage, I was up to a size 12, probably going into a 14. And I knew that I was stressed, but I did not understand the concept that your body, I did not understand the fullness of the concept that your body can carry stress in a way that makes you gain weight. I knew that it could cause your blood pressure to go up. I knew that. Okay. But I did not know that it could make you retain weight. So when I started the process of my divorce and knew that I was going to be free from the foolishness and the mayhem. And my mind and everything in me knew that I was leaving California and coming back to North Carolina without even exercising. I went down to a size 6. Scared the pure tea crap out of me because I kept dropping the weight. I called my mom and was like, I'm down to a size 6 and I don't know what's happening. You know how you get all frantic. I don't know what's happening. Because I was 12 going into 14. Y'all, I was half my size. And she was like, just calm down. Just calm down. You about to be stressed about something else. Just calm down. Your body will plateau. It will get to its happy place and it will plateau. And she had to send me clothes because I had nothing. Y'all, it was the craziest experience. I, I would hug myself and feel like I was wrapping my arms around my whole body. Okay? So you have to know your why and you have to pay attention to yourself. Okay? And we have to stop making assumptions. So if this person is saying, I'm going to the gym because I'm realizing that there's things going on within my body that I can't put my finger on, but I've heard, and this is normally how it works, I've heard that if you exercise, it releases the stress. And that is true. But what if this person were to come to me? Because when you are coached by me, we look at the professional, the business, as well as personal. There is no skipping. There is no skipping because there has to be balance. What I would tell the person if they were giving me all of those symptoms. Hi, Doria, honey. When I saw that good morning, I didn't even have to read the name, child. I already knew because you on that California time, honey. Hello, honey. Miss Doria. Um, if that person was coming to me and they were telling me all of those symptoms, my first question would be, when was your last physical? That would be my first question. Why? Because you're already talking about it feels like your bones are hurting. You go up in that gym with that with that S on your chest, that sucker gonna be broke, okay? Because you gonna hurt something. You are going to hurt something. And this is part of the problem when we try to do things and we're not being properly coached. There is an injury that takes place, whether it's to our bank account, to our pride, our ego, our business, because all the right questions are not being asked. So that would be my first question. When was your last complete physical? And there's a difference. And your insurance company knows this. You can have a general physical, you can have a sports physical, you can have a complete physical. They are 3 different types of things with 3 different types of codes. And a lot of times 3 different percentages that your insurance company will pay. So I would tell that person, if you have not had a complete physical in the last year, that is your first step. Because in that complete physical, they're going to check your blood work. They're going to check blood pressure. They're going to listen to your breathing. They're going to check your reflexes. You're going to tell the doctor that you literally feel like your bones are hurting. This is not going to be a time where you're going to be accepting a whole lot of medications. You just want to know about your body because you're about to take your body on a journey and you want to know what your body can do. Okay? The same thing in any area of your business. When you look at your goals, you're about to go on a journey. Hey, Wanda and Tanika chiming in from the YouTube. Hello from Kenneth. And you know what, Wanda? Wanda. I forgot. I forgot to ask y'all to put in the chat while you chime in, where you're chiming in from. I'm so excited that all the technology is teching today. I totally forgot. So we got Wanda chiming in from Kennesaw, Georgia. I already said Darius chiming in from California. And we got Noreen chiming in from New York. That's how my husband sounds when he tries to do a New York accent, child. Just wrong. Charlotte, Nevada, or North Carolina? Because you put an NV in there. Is that North Carolina, Tanika? Yes, North Carolina girls. Just a real quick story. When I was living in California and I would always introduce myself being from North Carolina, they would say nothing could be finer than a girl from Carolina. I say, you better talk about it. Let the people know. Let the people know. Okay. Y'all about to get me off. Bronx, New York. That's right. I was going to say Bronx, and I was arguing between the Bronx and BK, which is Brooklyn. I didn't want to get it wrong, but I knew you would let me know, Noreen. Because, honey, that's what you do, and that's what I love. All right. So, yes, as Daria put into the chat, get checked from head to toe. And then what I would tell them to do after you set that appointment, and if I see hesitation, if I even sense the slightest bit of hesitation, I'm going to have them call the doctor right there while we right there. Go ahead and call. And let's go ahead and get this appointment. You want the first available, okay? Because I can't tell you what you need to be doing outside of that until we see what your body can do. That's just how this thing works. You cannot take the cart before you get the horse because the horse is pulling the cart. Otherwise, you're going to be working unnecessarily. Tanika, what is your number one tip for going from hard to working smart? Okay, so going from working hard to working smart, that is amazing question. Because that hard work is a mental and a physical thing. And I don't think we understand and realize how much we do is tied to how we think, how our environment has groomed us. Like I said, even from preschool, we are taught to work hard. Let me tell y'all something real quick. And y'all remember this. I love documentaries. And I was watching a documentary. And I ain't going to name the family because I just ain't. But there was a family. Wealthy family. And they came up with the idea of free public school systems and said that the public schools would be able to generate a hard-working workforce. I want you to get that in your shanana. They made public schools free to generate a workforce. It wasn't about educating you for next. It was about creating a workforce because the people that attended would be taught how to follow instruction, how to follow people, how to submit to authority, and never challenge anything. And one of the things that annoys people about me who don't really know me is I'm the queen of 20 questions. It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense in all areas. Or you get a nah. Not even a no. It's a NaH. It's a nah for me. I'm not doing that with you. I'm not doing that with you. It's gotta make sense. So in order for you to go from hard work to working smart, number one, you have to have your vision together. What is your vision for yourself and your business? And then from there, let me take this off the screen because I want y'all, I can't see y'all eyes, but I want y'all to look at me in mine. Hey, y'all. And then I'll pull it back up. You have to have your vision written out because from that vision is birthed your goals and your why. And then with that, that is also your strategic plan. That's how you get your strategy. And then you break your goals down so you know what you want to accomplish for the year. By the end of the year, I want this. And y'all, let me tell you what just butters my biscuit. Let me go country on you real quick. What butters my biscuit in the wrong way? For somebody to tell me I want to make six figures. Okay, but where? Okay, because six figures starts at 100,000 and goes all the way to 999,999. To say you want to make six figures is not a goal; it's an idea. Okay, that's not a goal. It doesn't fit the SMART goal system. Okay, you have to have your goals broken down, which I'm going to take you through this GEM process, the JYM, that I would take this person through. And then stick to the plan. I went into the bank yesterday to deposit money for the apartment building, low-income housing building that I manage. And the young lady that was there, she was looking at my driver's license, and she was like, I'm calculating, and your license says 1975. I said, yep. She was like, 1975. I said, yeah, I'll be 50 in September. And she was like, I would have never guessed that. How do you maintain? I said, listen, you be okay with telling people no, and you don't let Negroes, and I paused because I was in the bank and I'm loud, and I stopped because, but you don't let people stress you out. Okay, you don't let people stress you. Period. Okay, just you don't allow people to do that. And when you have that plan and you have it broken down by the day, yes, 75. Tanika, Lord have mercy. Yes, 75. When you have it broken down, you have part of your blueprint for the day. I heard another coach call it your ingredients for a successful day. And I love that. It just rolls off the tongue. Your ingredients for a successful day. And if anybody on here knows how to bake or cook, whatever you're doing in the kitchen, you don't let other people come in and start throwing stuff because it's going to mess up what you're doing. Look at your day the same way. Don't allow them to come in and toss in whatever they want. And it's not that they're being mean, rude, or disrespectful. They're trying to get their goals accomplished. You just have to show in a very loving manner, because we speak the truth in love, that your goals are just as important. Okay? Just as important. And I go into tremendous detail on that in my book, Cut the BS, and BS stands for bogus strategies. I ain't splitting verbs. Bogus strategies, okay? To help you unlock higher productivity. So I love the question. All right, Wanda, but when you are an entrepreneur, yes, we do seem to work harder and not smarter, but my goals have been to delegate to my team. Yes, y'all, I love it. I love it. And I talk about in my book the 3 Ds. The 3 Ds. They are either do it, okay? And you do it when only you can. It requires, not because you're a micromanager, not because you're a micromanager. Okay. We're gonna pray that micromanaging spirit off. No, delegate it. If you have the right people around you, delegate that out. Delegate it out. And who can guess what the third one is? Who can guess if 1D is do it, the other one is delegated. If y'all have ever, let me see, I think I went over this on a BPC call also. What was that? Jeopardy, the Jeopardy music. We make it. We bring the remix. It's very close to dump. It is very close to dump. That is the premise of it. Okay? It is the premise of it. Thank you, Noreen. You can't do everything. You cannot do everything. Stop. That's working hard. That's not working smart. That is working hard, not working smart. Smart says, I'm going to utilize my resources. Smart says that I am going to value myself as much as I value everything else. That's what smart says. Okay? And you have to determine what your time is worth. There was a video that I watched because I'm also always learning. No micromanaging, Wanda. That's right. We are praying that spirit out. We are praying that micromanaging spirit off. But in the video they said you will never become a millionaire focusing on $10 tasks. When I tell you that snatched me in everything of my being, I said you better talk. You better talk. You will never become a millionaire focusing on $10 tasks. That's what you delegate out. Or you say no to it. Those $10 menial tasks. Even if you say, oh, it's not going to take me long. Do you know how many times I have said that and looked up and it's been an hour? I've been working on it for an hour when I should have just passed it on. Okay? So whether you are, and we also have to let go of that saying, and then I'm going to bring the screen back up. We have to let go of the saying that says, it'll just be faster for me to do it myself. Huh? In that moment, it may be, but there's going to be many moments after that. So take the time to train, even if it's, because I'm going to tell you what, Coach Taria will do a video in a minute. She will do a video in a minute, even if it's you doing a training video on Loom and sending it to that person. Do that. But don't put all the weight on you. Oh, that's not the one I want. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. So let's get back to, and if you have any more questions, please put them in because that's what I'm here for. So let's say the person makes their appointment. So we're not going to skip any steps. Let me type this in. The first thing they need to do, call doctor and make appointment for a complete physical. As Daria said, head to toe and everything in between. So that's going to be their first step for the gym. They're going to do that on Monday. And let's say that the doctor was able to fit them in on Wednesday. So then they're going to put on their planner, physical 9 a.m. Now, this is what you do when you're making appointments with your doctor, whether it's eye doctor, whatever. You always ask approximately how long is this going to take? Because you have to plan. And if they say, oh, about an hour, give yourself an hour and a half. Now, if you were on, I think it was the last live that I did, I also talked about you have to give time for everything that's required for this. So even though the appointment is at 9 a.m., if this person lives 15 minutes from the doctor's office, that means 15 minutes there, 15 minutes back. So while his or her appointment is at 9 a.m., they're going to put it at 8:30. Why 8:30 if they only live 15 minutes away? Work traffic. Work traffic. 8:30 a.m. We know the appointment starts at 9. We're allocating about an hour and a half. So that's until 10:30. So from 8:30 to, let's say, 11, this is what they're putting in their calendar. That's the time frame. 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, if they get finished earlier, which they very well may, because it is an earlier appointment, I know from experience that when you have those afternoon appointments, somewhere in that morning, they have started running late and your appointment is not going to start on time. It happens without fail. They have a morning appointment, so we're allocating from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Now, we also know, we don't always do this, but we also know that while we're sitting in the waiting area, instead of scrolling through social media, what we can be doing is sending out DMs. This is the perfect time to do that because you're sitting in the waiting area. You can't go anywhere else except for the bathroom. And honestly, you can't do that because they're going to check your urine. So you can't even go do that. So this is a perfect time to start sending out DMs. And I'm going to put that at 9 a.m. And keep in mind, everything I'm putting in here is also going to go in my phone. Or we'll put, let's say 8:45, because you're going to get there early. And we're going to have high hopes that the doctor will see you at 9. But you have 15 minutes, potentially, to send out DMs. And I know some people will say, well, you got to fill out the paperwork. Well, no, you don't. Because now doctors send you either a link, a portal, or the paperwork itself ahead of time. So what they're going to do on Tuesday, they're going to fill out doctor paperwork. and we're going to do this. Let's say we do this on our lunch break. If you don't take lunch, you can do it during your breakfast. Do it where you've got about 10 or 15 minutes, because this is also where you're going to be inputting your insurance information, contact information, and all that kind of stuff. So they're going to fill out the doctor paperwork on Tuesday. Now, this is as far as we can go with the gym person until they actually come back with their results. So if this person is saying, well, I really want to get into the gym, I really want to start working out because, again, I'm feeling pain in my bones, I'm not sleeping, I'm not resting, and I may, because of my work, my business, I may have a lot of stress. So the next question is, what do you eat normally in a day? Oh, well, I don't normally eat breakfast. I don't eat lunch around the same time. I try to eat lunch every day, but it's not usually the same time because of everything that I've got going on. And dinner normally happens around 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock. Well, I appreciate you hitting all the major food times. However, I need to know what you're eating, not just the fact that you do eat. Okay. I need to know what you're eating. So their next task, because at this point the crickets are chirping, food diary. Why is that important? Because there's things that we do in the day that we don't always remember. Why? Because it's become robotic. It's become habitual. One of the reasons that I don't keep cash on me, baby, that cash will burn a hole in my wallet, my purse, the seat of my car, everywhere. I went this, y'all, there was this one time I had like $200 or $300 worth of cash. This was many moons ago. I could not remember what I spent the money on. I literally thought I dropped the money somewhere. This was before I started doing business and all this kind of stuff. I was one of those persons that was like, yeah, I kept the receipt in case I needed to return it, but I didn't keep the receipts in the right place. Everything wasn't organized because I was just, trying to just exist in life at that point. I went through $200 in a weekend and couldn't tell you what I spent it on. Foolishness and mayhem. So there's going to be a food diary for this person. Why? Another culprit for weight gain is allergies. Are you eating something that your body actually doesn't like? And you think it's that you're getting bigger, which you are, but it's actually an allergic reaction. It happens. So I would have that person start a food diary, logging everything they eat or drink. We would have to pay attention to water intake. All of this is coming from, I want to go to the gym and lose weight. There's more to it than that. A whole lot more to it, as you can see. And I know for some people, they're like, oh my gosh, I just want to go to the gym. I got to do all of this. If you want to do it right. If I'm finding that you can't answer my questions in detail and your answers are more generalized versus specific, this is what we're going to do. because again, I'm looking at balance. I'm looking at the whole picture. I'm looking at it through a different lens. When you are looking at your goals, which is why having a coach is so important, they are going to look at it from a different lens and they're going to ask you the questions. And let me pull this. We know that Daria, her specialty is perimenopause. There are things, weight gain happens during that time. A woman's body starts doing all kinds of peculiar things during that perimenopause, menopause, all that stuff. This person may find out that they are entering perimenopause, which means there's a whole different way we need to look at this. This is why these questions are necessary, not going after every fad that comes across your screen on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, all these people that have hacks. I saw one that they were talking about. It was a what were they saying? It was, instead of a peach cobbler, which is what we have called it since Moses was in the earth, they were calling it something else. And I said, if these young folks don't get somewhere and sit all the way down trying to reinvent a wheel that we have already mastered, go somewhere. Before their generation, it looks like a hack. It looks like something new. And they are trying to give it a new name. Don't get caught up in that. Your body could just be going through its natural change, but it needs you to shift because it's going to shift regardless. You wouldn't know that if you weren't sitting in front of me. You would just start working out. And then if it actually is perimenopause and you are one that's prone to hot flashes, you ain't going to be in that gym long, baby. Let one of them hot flashes roll up on you while you working out. You're not going to be there long. That is not going to be your space. Okay? So this is that person's work, their homework just for the gym. And this is going to be their personal side of the equation, because we haven't talked about the business side on this particular planner. And what they would need to do is, we've mapped this part out. What else have you committed to for this week? Tell me what's on your calendar for this coming up week. And we're going to see if what they've agreed to do is in alignment with where they say they want to be. Because I've learned that people say yes for a couple of reasons. One, because they need to. Two, out of obligation. Three, out of fear. They don't want people to feel bad. They don't want this. They don't want that. The mantra of the weekend, just because I can doesn't mean that I should. Just because I can, it doesn't mean that I should. So I would have them, we would look at their week, what they have said yes to, and we would get this planner filled in and have them put these items into the calendar on their phone. You don't need to pay money for some crazy software when your phone comes with a calendar. Use the one on your phone. When Coach Taria sends out the email, get your profits planner and let's get this in sync. Let's get it all in sync. Now, if that person is coming to me and they say, well, I don't really have it on my calendar, but I do have my to-do list. If y'all know anything about me, That is cringe worthy because I don't do to-do lists. I don't work off a to-do list. If it's worth your time, it goes on your calendar. Write that down. If it's worth my time, it goes in my calendar. Stop trying to remember stuff. Stop trying to remember stuff. Write it down, type it in your calendar. If it's that important to take up your time, even if it's you're saying you're gonna have me time for 2 hours, block that out because that's about you, and you are you are your most important goal. Because if you are not functioning properly in your body, in your mind, your health, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything. And I've been seeing this so much now, which I'm so happy to see. Rest is not a reward. You don't reward yourself with rest. You need to rest, have a sufficient amount, and only you know what that looks like. I'm the person, I have to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. If I don't, baby, I'm a whole Snickers commercial. What? A whole Snickers commercial. I have to have my sleep. I don't get to take naps except for possibly on Sunday, but I have to have my sleep. If you, and we're getting ready to wrap up, unless you all have any more questions, and when we come back to the our fourth Friday, we'll fill this planner in based on what the doctor's results are. Okay, but if you have not, if you have not written out your vision for yourself, personal, and for your business / professional, get that done. That is your first step to working smarter. And your vision should only be about 2 to 3 sentences. That's it. When you start getting into paragraphs, baby, you have done too much. I promise you, your vision and your mission statement are in there. 2 to 3 sentences. Let me go back to my dynamic scene, and the system will save this, so I'll know where we are. This is my website, mindingmybusiness.vip. If you are struggling with your vision because you just haven't written it out and you don't know where to begin, you're struggling with how to figure out how to work smart versus hard, because that's how we've been programmed. Hard work pays off. Well, it pays somebody. Somebody is getting paid. Okay, then somebody is getting paid. Then we need to start working together. Your first strategy session for BPC members is free. After that, I'm going to have to quote Bruce. After that, it's a charge. Because I actually accomplish a lot in that 30 minutes. I really, really do. And what I want to see is more of us being healthy, happy, productive, not worn out, not looking like we have lost our best friend, not looking like we packing for a whole week's vacation up under our eyes. Okay? I'm here. I am available. Yes, Wanda, got to do everything on the calendar. Absolutely got to do everything on the calendar. It's not just about organization, but it's about being able to function strategically. And don't be afraid to tell people no. Do not be afraid. There's nothing wrong with no. And if you can't get the no out, give them a nah, a NAH, nah. If no is too hard, just give them a nah. Are there any more questions? Because we are at 2 o'clock and I don't want to hold you beyond the time. Are there any more questions? Oh, just say, listen, when they did that campaign, when we were all in school, we didn't know how far that was going to go. Just say no. They were doing it in regards to drugs and all the other things. But just say no, it goes across the whole gamut. No more to do lists. Yes, Noreen. I'm going to tell you what. When I see somebody and they got post-it notes everywhere, I'm like, what are you doing first? How are you prioritizing? You're not. I already know. I already know. No more to-do lists. If it's worth your time, it goes on your calendar. So the next time we meet, which will be the fourth Friday, we meet every second and fourth Friday. Second and fourth Friday, we're going to continue filling in the information for our person. And we're also going to include some items that they said that they were doing, already had on their calendar. Okay, so that's where we're going to pick up. Come with your questions. Again, mindingmybusiness.vip. You guys have a fantabulous weekend. Stay dry. Daria, stay cool. I know it's hot over there too. And I will certainly chat with you all later. Bye bye.